What's up, guys? Welcome back to my Deadlock Replay Analysis series where I analyze my replays until I become Eternus. In today's video, I ended up in a lane that is just terrible for Warden. In fact, I think this might be the textbook worst matchup for Warden, Shiv and Mirage. I look at this matchup and I'm instantly requesting a swap with Victor because I don't think I can do it and he denies it. I was really hoping I could lane against Holiday because she only has 2 stamina. But I had to take the Shiv and Mirage lane. I knew that I was going to lose this, but I know that I can make it work as long as I just don't die, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. Don't pay no mind to my terrible accuracy, by the way. There's not much I can do about that at this point. I went into this game with bad accuracy. It's just, I'm just gonna have to deal with it and win the lane. We still lose the lane, obviously, but I managed to come back with the soul lead after we lose, and I keep myself alive for as long as I possibly can. And by the end of this match, for once, I'm not the one with the most deaths, which is something I'm proud of myself for, because dying a lot is my worst and biggest habit in this game. But today, I decided to really take my gameplay seriously and do something about that. So I want to start this analysis on what I could have been doing better in this part of the laning phase. Here I've already taken so much damage, even standing behind the tower, and it could just be a matchup thing, Mirage doing a lot of damage from afar, but also my accuracy was terrible. This is the kind of lane where my accuracy matters a lot, because I have to be able to shoot Mirage down, but he kind of just outranges me with his gun and his bullet velocity, unfortunately. It's really tough as Warden. My damage is fine from a distance, but it's just landing my shots on him, and now he's like really deep at full HP, and I'm still like 1, so I try to contest him here, but there's not much I can do, and he tornadoes into me, and Shiv is on the other side too. I'm not going to be able to survive this. And that's my first death in the lane. I tried my best there, but unfortunately my poor accuracy costed me my life. And I had to go back into this lane thinking, like, I have to find a way to just not die. Like, as long as I stand behind this tower and just play it safe and not worry about the creeps, or focus more on the creeps and not worry about trying to get good trades, I think I should be able to at least not die in this lane and end the lane with a vantage point to, like, get ahead in souls again. Because I'm obviously behind after dying just now. But it's not the end of the world. As long as I can play smart and not die, I should be able to come back. And I know I'm going kind of deep here, but it's because we have creeps and stuff, and they also took a lot of damage from the tower dive previously. So I still have an opportunity to possibly bring them down to low HP, and I also really need to run these boxes because I'm behind and I need to catch up. So if I have a chance to take their boxes, I will. I shoot Shiv a few times in the face, and it's nice, but yeah, he's still pretty tanky and high up in HP. Oh yeah, my accuracy there was not great, and yeah, I'm now standing in front of the creep waves, and I've taken over 300 damage, so once again, I made a pretty big mistake and lost a lot of my HP for it, but it's okay. I have monster rounds now. We're just gonna go back to dealing with the troopers. Now I'm standing behind our minions because it's gonna be hard to deal with this wave efficiently and without taking a billion damage for it. I just can't, like, leave myself too exposed. Mirage goes for a dive, and I get some free light melees on him, and then I start gunning him down, but he just doesn't take a lot of damage at all, and I'm almost dead. He just sort of out-DPSs me, along with Shiv knifing me down from afar. We did get him low for that trade, but then he just got some heal trooper, and geez, man, I thought Jinsmark would kill me, but I was left at 10 HP left, and then the Scarabs brought me back. Right now, Great Talon's unhappy about the current state of Mirage and how broken he is, and I have to agree, Mirage is broken, but I am playing as Warden, so I'm not gonna be that guy. After Great Talon dies, I just take some boxes and leave the lane for a bit, because there's not really much I can do at 200 HP against Shiv and Mirage. It's time to get healing right. I need to heal, and I need to stay in the lane and farm, so healing right's my best bet. And while I wait for the wave to come to us, I think about my next purchases. Extra health is honestly great against Mirage because he steals your HP, so actually buying extra health can sort of be like a cushion against his Scarabs. And now that I have my ult, I can finally kill these people and make a play. I just have to wait for them to get out of position. So that's what I do, but you'll see that even after I ult, I just can't kill these people. They're just too hard to kill, and I also just can't really move fast enough with their movement abilities. Slice and dice and the tornado to get away, like, it's honestly just too hard. And here he hits me with another tornado, and luckily enough, willpower was able to save me from taking all that damage, so I actually didn't get hurt too bad there, although now I'm on cooldown for willpower, and I'm still ready to ult, and I want to go in. After I missed that flask, I'm feeling pretty unconfident about myself, so I cut my losses and just go back to the tower. I did not mean to jump up on top of that building after giving myself healing right. I meant to stay in this little cubby here, but I still managed to keep the healing right up and get almost the full heal from it. Then I run my ult and try to chase Shiv, but my range on the ult's not high enough, and he doesn't take very much damage at all. And yeah, I guess I should have been focusing Mirage, but I wanted to get Shiv since he was closer to me. Slice and Dice just allows him a free escape, though. It's quite unfortunate. I mean, so far, I've tried making several plays work, and they just haven't worked yet. And it's pretty frustrating. They are ahead of me in farm, and that might be why, but yeah, I just gotta cut my losses and play safe and not fight. So I'm back to taking this camp again, because it respawns after just 2 minutes. And now that the wave's at the tower, we can just run the fuck away as they try to dive me and hopefully not get denied. The tower's gone now, which sucks, but at the same time it's kind of a relief because I've still only died once and I have a chance to come back. Now that there's no tower here, I can just focus on taking side camps and maybe going for a good gank, but I don't really know what gank would be good right now. I don't have my ult, so... And I don't really have very much good items, and I'm behind in souls. So if I gank on green, I might be able to help, but Yamato and Viscus are both ahead of me, so it's kind of a bad choice. Same for Holiday and Seven. That being said, a gank probably still would have been a good choice. It's a good thing that Mirage and Shiv were both still lurking around in the mid lane and trying to take our camps. He takes one of the creeps there, but it's okay. I'm not too upset about it. I got the other 2 creeps. And then I go back to protect blue, and I see that Grey Talon is really close on the green side, but it doesn't seem like he's ganking. I think he's actually just farming right now. And so I just let him do his thing. But since I see that he's not ganking, I'm questioning whether or not I should try to go for that. IDK. Mirage is kind of low on HP, but I know that he can bring me down to his level very quickly. Regardless, I try poking him down. It's not really working out, and I can't dive him. Shiv rotated over to yellow, which I didn't realize until watching this replay right now. I should have gone to yellow at this point in the game, especially now that I had my ults, but instead I'm heading towards green and getting Cult to Sacrifice from the secret shop, and rushing Cult to Sacrifice lately has been good for me. I feel like that's been getting me ahead in most games in farm. I'm no longer like least souls and constantly dying, and also the damage bonus that you get from Cult to Sacrifice becomes quite noticeable the later in the game you go, and it's actually very nice to have. I mean, sometimes you just get like a nice consistent 50% damage bonus, which is a lot. And it beats the fire rate bonus you get, to be honest, because I can just get that from like Spellslinger. So yeah, basically, ever since we lost the lane, I haven't been ganking. I've just been farming, and it's actually starting to work out because I'm 9.2k. I'm really starting to catch up. Now I'm ahead of Seven and Viscus. I had to ult here because they were both going for me, and yeah, now that they're both running away and Shiv got binding worded, I was able to take that little creep there and run away. But thankfully enough, I'm not dead. It costed me my ults, but it doesn't matter as long as I'm not dead. Survival is paramount, like the shopkeeper says. Or at least what he used to say before they changed all his voice lines for the Christmas update. So now we're getting our walker pushed, and they actually do a shit ton of damage to the walker, but Mirage does end up dying for it. Thanks a lot, Drifter. I appreciate the rotate, especially after I didn't rotate earlier. It's very kind of Drifter to do that, and I'm grateful for his presence. Before they take the walker, Shiv dies, so we still have a walker on blue, or at least what's left of it. And it gives me, and now that Shiv and Mirage are both dead, it's the perfect opportunity to push blue. And now it's time for me to rotate. But before I do, I go for my 4.8k Vitality investment, and I sell Healing Right, because now I have too much HP for that shit. And after buying Enduring Speed and Fortitude, I went from having 2100 HP to 2700, which is a very big boost. I'm ready to help out in this fight, but it's also a 1v3 because Victor died and I didn't rotate in time. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I had to buy items. I couldn't rotate in time. And so I have to just fend for myself at the walker against these 3. I'm able to take one of those creeps before they kill my ass, but luckily they actually left and I'm able to get this creep wave without them gunning me down. I'm glad I can just take this camp now very easily, and yellow lane is left open. I can hear Holiday taking this camp, but she takes it too fast. But now that she's used her bounce pad, I want to try to get a binding ward off of her, so I do my warden thing. Now that she's splashed, she had no stamina, but unfortunately she did have another bounce pad in her kit. She was able to escape. It would have been a binding ward if she didn't have bounce pad. Then I see that she has Cult to Sack that she just got off, so I'm like, okay, fuck that. And her cronies are here. They do have a tower after all and a zip line, so I can't really stay for too long in the fights deep in yellow, so I make my way out. Now that Dynamo's here, I can go deep again a little bit, and I see Drifter going for a little bit of a flank. Now that he's used his ult, I'm ready to go in, and I have my ult, but it's hard for me to find a good vantage point from here, so I try to go in from the side. Well, actually, no. First I pick up the urn, and then something kind of funny happens. Oh yeah, I get knocked off the zip line and then I drop the urn, and I didn't realize I dropped the urn until way later. So here I'm like farming, still thinking that I'm holding the urn. The reason I picked it up is because I saw Yamato die on the green side, but now they're getting pushed up and Yamato respawned, so it's not worth it. At this point, I still think I'm holding the urn, and then after I take the Sinners, I realize that I'm not holding it anymore, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just buy an item. Point blank, it's a very big damage spike, and now I'm ready to fight some people. I see Holiday over here. She actually does get binding worded after my flask, because she was late on the bounce pad, but I miss my active reload, and I can't shoot her down. She definitely would have died. She was in range of point blank. She would have died really quickly. Even if I died for it, it would have been nice to have a kill on Holiday. But I miss active reload and I cut my losses and just run away. And maybe it's better that I ran away and didn't die. So now it's time to push this walker. Holiday's diving me. That's okay. Time for a last stand, and yeah, Holiday dies to the Dynamo ult. Yamato can't run away from my ult. Thank God. I didn't even upgrade it yet, so with my shitty ult range, I'm still able to get a kill on Yamato, and I'm just praying that 7 dies, but he does survive, and Viscous and Mirage rotate over, and Drifter, I'm not able to save him. I couldn't go into that fight at the time because Fortitude hadn't procced yet, and I was only like 300 HP, although I did still feel kind of bad about it, but it's a good thing I have Fortitude. I'm glad that I've started running this item recently, because in the past, I would just... When I played this game 6 months ago, I'd buy Fortitude every time because it was broken. It gave you weapon damage and you'd start healing after only 10 seconds. But ever since they gutted it, I stopped running it, and I've been dying a lot because of that. I was too used to having Fortitude, and now that I'm running Fortitude again, I feel like I'm a Deadlock player. It's nice. I'm not going to stop buying Fortitude. Thank you, Ness, for suggesting this. It's all thanks to Ness. I'm ready to push yellow. Even if there are people here, I just want this tower to go down. But then Mirage makes a weird dive, but he does manage to use his Sand Tornado to get out of the Binding Word. But right after he dies, I grab a succulent money bag, and to make my escape, we got the tower, I got what I came for. I'm ready to just bounce and leave. And with 4,600 souls, it's almost time for me to get my Hollow Point Bullet Resist Shredder combo. I just gotta take some more camps before I do that, because this whole game I was kind of in like a farming brain kind of mode. But now isn't a good time to do it with our waves so shitty. I mean, like, our waves are terrible. We're not really fighting right now. Dynamo sees Holiday, but I don't think it would be smart for him to take that fight. And smartly enough, he does not take that fight. So, yeah, look at that power battery, just doing 1,000,000 damage to those troopers. I'm ready to buy my Bullet Resist Shredder and Hollow Point combo so that I can do lots and lots of damage, but then I make a bit of a mistake. So I just hit a massive power spike. I'm doing, like, way more damage than I was before, and there's a fight going on green. But for some reason, I decide to take this camp, and I, like, spend a lot of time taking it. I'm reloading, throwing out melees, standing still, shooting the creeps. I should have just been there by this point. Had my cooldowns, had my ults, and I do actually get a lot of mileage out of my ult because Holiday and Shiv went really deep, and I just shred Holiday down to 1, which was nice. So it did work out in the end, but I still feel like I should have been joining that fight sooner. I should not have been going for the Sinners just now, even though they killed Viscous. It just would have been a faster kill on Viscous. But, luckily enough, my team is goated enough for my presence to not have been needed. Victor gets a great split push on blue, and now we have a blue walker. And after Yamato gets binding worded, she panic ults, and now that she's used her ult, and yeah, she's forced to run away because she can't really do much off of her ult. And now that it's worn off, it's time to push this walker. She has no get out of jail free card. But then Holiday shows up, and now it's like a 3v3. Dynamo hits a really clutch quantum entanglement, dodging the spirit lasso from Holiday. That was really badass, and that's why Paige said, "Oh my god, I love you." I hit a cul-de-sac on the way out because this is a bad fight. I don't want to fight at this walker anymore, even though I really wanted to get the walker. I'm just going to heal back up with Fortitude and buy items with my souls if I can. I'm at 4,600, and yeah, I go for my CDR, so now I have a 4.8k spirit investment. The next item I want to get is Spellslinger, but I don't think I end up getting that. But regardless, it's a lot of farming before I hit that point, so now once again I'm not really joining fights and I'm kind of just farming, but joining fights gives me a lot of souls, and I need to remember that. So at this point, especially since I'm saving for a 6k item, I shouldn't be worrying too much about farming as much as I am. And yeah, here I wanted to take that fight against Shiv, but then he used Metal Skin, and I decided it wasn't worth it at the time, because I don't really have the Murky Worky. And I'm probably not going to get the Murky Worky anytime soon, thanks to this new meta and thanks to my brand new obsession with Spellslinger. I think it's the best item in the game. Here I go for the Sinners here, which is a scary Sinner sacrifice, but I have Dynamo and Talon nearby, so I've got my boys backing me up. I'm ready to take the Sinners, even though it's a scary one that's on their side. Right now I'm kind of just looking around to get a sense of where the enemy is, and yeah, I see Viscous near the Sinners, but I'm not scared of Viscous, so I kind of just keep punching this thing. Then Yamato shows up. I'm not scared of her either. She gets Binding Word, and I get my 4 stats. Just keeping my stats padded out. Now that I got what I came for, I'm ready to leave, so I say no, go into shop. And I'm 3.3k. I still can't get Spellslinger, but I can get Fleetfoot. I think I decide against it, though. I'm pretty sure I wait until after I have Spellslinger before I get Fleetfoot. which was probably a good choice. I think I've missed my active reload like 500 times this game. I'm not upset about it though. I just wanted to point that out. I see Shiv here, and I'm ready for a big ult, but unfortunately this is a blunder. I'm not really looking at the map while making this play. Here it was just Dynamo and Grey Talon kind of far away from me, and I let myself just get dove in by these people, and yeah, they fucking kill me. I should have been looking at the map and getting close to Dynamo, who had his ult. If I was with Dynamo, we would have survived. I would have gotten kills off of his ult there, and yeah, it would have been a lot better. Unfortunately, like, I was doing fine. My position was good until after the ult, after I got the kill, when I started going into that cubby. So yeah, I did kind of blunder there. Even though we got the 7, it wasn't really worth it because I put myself in a bad position after the fact. So yeah, that was my final blunder of the game. That was my 3rd death. Oh no, sorry, my 2nd death. I have a 3rd death later on, but don't worry, we win the game off of it. So yeah, my team didn't really need me this game. I mean, I was still helpful, but the Drifter was actually the MVP. Bro got almost like 50,000 player damage this game. I'm really happy with our Drifter. So Holiday gets a Spirit Lasso, so that means it's time to fight. And Mirage kind of puts himself in a weird position, and I thought I would get a Binding Word, but he tornadoes away. And now we have to sort of back off because it seems like we're outnumbered. But I'm still going to deal with the wave, of course, and heal up from those troopers. Soon enough, I'll have Fortitude proccing, and then it did for 66 HP before I decided to take this camp. Should have just let Victor have it. He was full. It's fine, though. Fortitude doesn't really need to... I mean, it doesn't look like a lot of HP, but it actually is. 700 HP is kind of a big deal. And now I have 4,000 HP because of the bonus from Cult to Sacrifice. Stacking up HP as Warden is... It's nice. It's nice being a big old tank. So our Dynamo just died because I was taking the tier 3 camp, and I should have been helping him out on green. If I was just holding base on green, I could have saved him. I'm almost ready to get Cult to Sacrifice. I go for kind of a bad ult, and everybody's ran away by now, but luckily Viscous misuses his cube, and I got a free Binding Word, and then he cancels his Goo Ball, I think, to use Goo Punch, but I think he should have just kept the Goo Ball up. I think he would have survived. So now I'm ready to get Spellslinger. After I got that kill, Dynamo's death was avenged. We can get Spellslinger, we can push green. Blue is pushed up hard, but I think it's still a good time to put some pressure up on green because we've got people covering the waves. We don't have our supports, but we do have our damage. I just want to fight some people. I mean, our waves aren't great on green though, so yeah, I decided to just stick around on green and push up the wave and just handle that and take camps on the side so that we can shred this walker down. It looks like Drifter's starting an engagement on yellow, and he does manage to kill the Mirage. Which makes sense, since he's like 4k up on him. Or 6k up, I should say. And I go for Fleetfoot instead of Headshot Booster, which Fleetfoot's good to have before pushing walkers, because it lets me slide more, and a lot more, actually. And sliding around means not having to reload my gun, which means killing the walker way faster. But unfortunately, Shiv did get the wave for that. Luckily, the fight on yellow was prolonged enough for these 2 waves to be... the 2 waves getting to our side on the green map not being a problem. I just killed the waves and ran up to the walker, and as I started shooting it, it did have some resists, but the minions got there in time, and the people that came to contest were not going to be able to kill me, because the fight on yellow was so prolonged. Actually, no, it's not at this point. I saw it was a 1v2, so I actually just instantly ran away, which was a good choice. I mean, maybe I could have killed Mirage, but Mirage and Holiday was not... the odds were not in my favor, so I decided to bounce. But the fight on yellow does still seem to be happening. Regardless, though, blue is not covered, so I might as well take this wave before doing anything on green. And I think now I'd go check for mid boxes, but they've already been taken. I have 5 ability points. I don't know how long it takes me to use it, but I think I should just go for my max out ult. Might as well. It's not the best ability, but it's not bad either. Transcendent cooldown is great on Warden, especially with Spellslinger. My flask is literally like on a 3-second cooldown. So, I mean, maxing out the Spellslinger stacks is very easy. Again, the fight on yellow is just still going. I'm really happy that my team has just managed to keep the pressure up and not die for it, because we're still really far ahead. And yeah, the walker's resisting the shots for a little while, but can't resist everything. I get my nice active reload early on because of Spellslinger, and I definitely could have killed Yamato here. Even though Mirage did come to save the day, I totally could have killed that Yamato. I mean, even with her ults, I would have been able to just gun her down. But I get the walker. I got what I came for. I have Frenzy now, and Spirit Resist is good, but it's kind of a hybrid matchup with Holiday 7 and Mirage running gun. But the Spirit Resilience or the Spirit Resistance from Frenzy is still going to be pretty helpful, so I went with that. And Frenzy is kind of just like an all-around good item on Warden. You get fire rate, you get movement speed, you get resistances. it's just nice to have. And also, the 50% HP threshold is great because it's a percentage threshold, not a specific HP amount, so having 50% HP as Warden can still mean having, like, 2,000 HP in the bank, which is great. So, I'm back to farming. I'm ready to push yellow because I'm really strong right now, and I've just hit so many massive power spikes. We also just got that green walker for free, so once we get this yellow walker, we're gonna be ahead enough on souls probably to just win this game. But before we do all that, I'm taking camps. It's okay though, it's not a bad time to take camps. We're not really committed to a fight right now, we're kind of just wandering around the map. I see the gun buff, and I am not saying no to that. Thank you very much. My gun investment is just so high right now, and my damage is insane. My fire rate is going to be out of this world now that I've gotten this gun buff. So now we're ready to fight on yellow, and I think this is my next death, but it doesn't happen too quickly. It doesn't happen before I kill some people. Get a binding word, a free one, because he misused his cube again. Guess he was panicking, and yeah, I just take his ass out. Viscous down, but unfortunately Drifter and Great Talon are dead, so this is dangerous. It's a 2v4 right now. Thankfully enough though, Mirage can't escape. Binding word finishes him off, but I die. And it's because I lasered in on Mirage, and I should have been focused on getting to the walker at the time, but getting the kill was still valuable. Paige did end up dying though, so now we're stuck at like a 2v4 situation, but if you guys check out what happens here, I mean, I'm not spectating Dynamo like how I should have. But Victor comes in and rotates with Dynamo, while they stay pushed up at the walker like they should, because they have a massive numbers advantage right now. But now that Victor's here, he just takes them all out one by one. I mean, two of them get ulted by Dynamo. Nicely done, Dynamo. Holiday Spirit Lassos Victor while he has Aura of Suffering, so the Spirit Lasso just kills herself. And now we're even again, with respawns coming back up. Yeah, Drifter already respawned, and Viscous is going to respawn too, but he's only 31k, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to go mid. I keep telling him to go mid. Victor's about to go, and then he's like, I think I'm going to take this camp real quick. And I'm like, no, dude, we got to go mid. This is mid. We win the game. And then he's like, okay, yeah, let's go mid. So we go mid. We take down mid. Mirage and Shiv try to contest it and insta-die because Dynamo has Refresher for his ult, and I guess they just weren't prepared. It's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, here they are. They're just dead. Thank you, Dynamo. Thank you, Drifter, for doing so much damage. The Ethereal Shift was not going to be it. I'm sorry, Shiv. And that's basically GG. Now that we've gotten the rejuve, now that two of them are down for the next 60 seconds, like, this Yellow Walker's going down. So I shove the wave up as much as I can, get my Cultist stack on the way in for my bonus HP. And I can see that they're initiating a fight kind of deep on the yellow and blue side, but before I go to that fight, I want to get Juggernaut, just pad out my stats, get more HP, you know? Now I've got over 5,000 health with Cultist stack. And now I see Yellow Walkers just kind of by itself because they're busy fighting in the mid lane. Thanks, Drifter, for keeping the pressure up. So I just kind of shred this Walker down to 0, and now we're way ahead. I mean, yeah, we have such a massive soul lead. There's no chance for these people. It's another Vic Roy. The towers go down, more objective damage, thank you very much. I see Holiday up here, so I try to gun her down, but then she just runs, so it's time to take down their shrines, now that everybody's hiding around in their base. Melt the shrine, melt the patron, Great Talon and the minions are helping me shoot it down, and now that the patron's dead, I'm thinking that maybe we leave, because Seven's about to respawn with his ult, but we also have 2 rejuves, and even though we're missing Drifter, we only really need like 1 kill to make this work, so I go in for my ult. Shiv is getting hit by it, then I see Mirage at 1 HP trying to run, and he actually cannot escape my ult, and he does die in the end. That was fantastic, and now I kind of just don't really give a fuck about, like, Seven's ult, and I just run in there, shoot it down. Victor helps me out, and since, yeah, Victor and I are both, like, 50k, we just melt the patron. It's a happy Christmas, it's a happy match, we all got our ornaments, and we're all just a satisfied team of Deadlock players. Looking at my damage numbers here, I'm definitely pretty dissatisfied. 23,000, given my farm, is really low. It's insane that Dynamo got more damage than me, although he does hit multiple enemies at once very easily with his abilities and stuff, but my damage should have been higher regardless, although my objective damage was superb, and definitely not something to scoff at. And having 6 kills is also still good given my role. I just felt like I should have been in more fights. I think that there were a lot of times during that game where I was farming and I should have been fighting more, and also during the team fights I died a lot because I made the same mistake that I did in my last video where I focused in on the enemy and tried to get my kill, and I didn't play around my teammates. And yeah, if I was like with my Dynamo during one of those Yellow Walker pushes, I would have survived for a lot longer after killing 7. But yeah, mistakes were made. Overall, it was a good game, and I feel like I'm still getting better at this shit. Shout out to Cameron and, fuck, I forgot his username, the other guy, for starting their own Deadlock Replay Analysis series. I'm really excited for the 3 of us to end up at the Eternus rank. Anyways, peace.